All right, all right. We are here again. Damn it, I just missed my 5-minute window. Fuck. So I'm late. That's what she said. I appreciate anybody who may be watching this live or on the playback. People do watch the playback, believe it or not. So I want to thank them too. And thank you anyone who watched me interview and talk to Zombie Man earlier. That was pretty fun. Pretty fun. I am obviously an expert interviewer in that I suck. No, but that was pretty cool. Good music. I wish we could have heard it better. So if he shows back up, we'll be able to play his music a lot better. I will probably be using OBS for future interviews and future collaborations. I hate StreamYard, and it proved to me, even on a fairly smooth, there were still with technical issues outside of sound. It just StreamYard is just like OBS is just better. OBS is just better in every way. And I'm going to find a different collaboration platform. Rather it's Discord, which we've done pretty successfully. It took some time with that, but we eventually got it working. So we'll figure something out. We will figure something out for future stuff. Hey, COD Ministries, appreciate you being here. And then we're going to get going. Let me get a bowl in. I have like the worst crick in my neck, man. I don't know what it is. It's just like, and it won't. I usually can crack my neck and it goes away, but it's not going away right now. And honestly, one of the reasons I haven't streamed as much, my fucking ankle just has been killing me. It's better now. But since about Wednesday or Thursday, it's just been fucking killing me. And so Thursday sucked. Friday sucked. Saturday got a little better. One of these days I went to the gym. I probably should go to the gym today, but I don't feel like it. I'll go tomorrow. And, get back on the wagon. That's what happens. What happened was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I walked like a couple miles, then did cardio for like about 40 minutes, something like that after. And then the next day, my ankle was hurting. So it's like, it's just getting old. I'm an old fucking fart. 37 as of a month or so ago, or early October. Birthday was the 2nd. We will be doing... Do you guys want a Halloween stream? I could do one. What's Halloween? Thursday? I could do one. I will do a non-election stream. We're about to just stream Streets of Rage just for something to do. I'm still kind of in between games. You know what I mean? I've been streaming a lot of Vice City and a lot of PS2 stuff, but don't really have a set game that I necessarily want to mess with. Hold on. That's stupid. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's get going. Guess it's just you for now, Cotton. I did say I would stream later. And hopefully, is this showing it? Yeah, it should be showing it. Look at them out. There you go. All right, let's get to it. Just doing what we do. Usually stream this to talk because it's a lot easier to talk. Play this game. Granted, with each game, it's easy to. Oops. Very easy to get caught up with the game and not with the conversation. But if people show up, then we'll do it. I know Matt was streaming. That was pretty cool. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to the Stream Elements buy. I forget about his existence. I don't even use Stream Elements. Hell, you guys can now give me a YouTube super chat, even though I can't collect on it yet because I don't have enough money. But if you wanted to, if that was your thing. Yeah, I heard the joke. It wasn't that great, but it certainly wasn't offensive. It was more offensive as a bad joke. Just that kind of cheesy setup of, I heard there's this garbage place filled with garbage on the island. So it's just going to be a setup for a joke. I thought it was going to be New Jersey or something, or Manhattan. We went with Puerto Rico. Okay, You know, it's just it was just fairly standard joke, honestly. You know what I mean? It's a fairly standard joke. I guess people got upset over it, including some of the conservatives, proving that they are not, you know, conservatives definitely like to think of themselves, oh, we don't, you know, we're free speech guys and we don't get butt hurt and we're not snowflakes. It's like, yes, the fuck you are. You absolutely are snowflakes. You just don't snowflake about the same things, but you guys absolutely have that snowflake spirit, as proven by the joke. The fact that some conservatives got mad about it. It's like, oh goodness, this is unbecoming. This is not what we do. I mean, why is your fucking president's Trump, and the whole draw to him is how off color he is. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? This is why I've become so critical of the fucking right. It's like, Jesus Christ. You guys are bitches. Y'all couldn't handle these streams. You know what I mean? If y'all couldn't handle that joke about Puerto Rico, you couldn't hang here. You know what I'm saying? And there's places way worse than here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Basco Scenario. Climate change, Mr. Ray. Yeah, it was simple. It's a simple kind of, that was the added element, is the climate change thing. But the idea that you set up making fun of a place. Hey, Sister Dildo, I like how people just realize his clip is offensive. Like, right? That's another thing. Why did you invite him? What did you expect him to say? Like, Jesus. Don't invite him then. Like, you know what I mean? Or, see that, you know, you kind of won the culture war in a lot of ways. It's not as offensive to be a Trump supporter as it was in 2020. It's not as big of a deal. And, you know, a lot of the cool comics are thought of as leaning right. So you want to, you know, a lot of people know a lot of this material that comes out of Hollywood is quote unquote woke and isn't good. You won a lot of facets of the culture war. Now that you have that victory, you don't even know what the fuck to do with it. Because really, the truth is, a lot of the right are still the stiff neocons that we all hated when we were growing up. They're not really, and a lot of them just use that MAGA hat as a shield from how they're still. That's why I don't fuck with Ted Cruz. I feel like he just goes along to get along, and he just plays the game because he knows he has to do what he has to do to stay afloat. But a lot of them, and deep down, they're not really built like that. Not built like that. Yeah, all these pearl clutchers. Like, what are you doing? Salute. Yeah, you gotta get the salute right, Retro Rich. He's trying to convert everyone to neo-Yassiism. Posted a special on Twitter. You liked it? Okay. I know of him. Containment, yeah. I know of Hitchcliff. I'm not like a fan or a hater or anything. I know of him. As I've said, I'm not as big. I know comedy is huge right now. It's having this resurgence, and especially because of the internet, because of the pandemic and the internet, it's really, comedy's in the high, riding pretty high right now. Whooped on. How do I do input setup? Star move. Trigger. Yeah, it's not working. Is it actually gonna work this time, or? X and Y. Oh, maybe that's what I have to do. There we go. And it hit nobody, but at least it worked. The side from the audience, we delivered that milquetoast joke, right? And maybe the side was like, oh, come on. It was because it wasn't a great joke. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of a mid joke, but it wasn't like, what? You're offended? Like, that's what you're side for? Like, I thought you was like, it was just like a mid joke. You're offended at this? The fuck? Yeah, that made it. That was the funniest part. Is the side. Like, I said kill Tony for Tuesday Borders. The haters can suck it. No, the salute you got. I didn't knock you. Stop being so defensive. No, the salute is. Never mind. I probably shouldn't encourage you. Teaching you how to do the keys to the salute that you're so much of a fan of. You had the wrong slash. You gotta have the slash out to be for your guy, for the mustache guy. That's all I was trying to inform you. No. I have to go the other way, but never mind. That's more. I guess it's more like a soldier salute the way you're doing it. Outside, if I shouldn't, yeah. Unfortunately, that's how you get it done. Why am I telling you this? I shouldn't have explained it. I should just let you think I was knocking you, and therefore you wouldn't have the information and be able to spread your hateful ideology amongst the people. Oh, okay. I didn't. Well, see, look at that. I forget the Pan-African element of this gimmick or this thing. That you're not just a neo-Yahtzee, but you're a Pan-African neo-Yahtzee. Yeah, that's what Matt played that joke, which was equally bad. But I don't see how that. Honestly, the gimmick. Oh, I'm sorry. The culture of the well-established and rich culture of neo-Yahtzee Pan-Africanism. How dare I forget? But honestly, there shouldn't be an uproar on that joke either. You know what I mean? And I get it. Okay, they didn't do the left, but who cares what the media thinks? The media doesn't matter. Matt, check out Matt's podcast. All I can do is echo it. Shit, it's pretty good. Shout out to the MFer solo podcast. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. It was a solid hour and a half watch after the Zombie Main thing. So I got some programming for you. If you didn't check out me and Zombie Main earlier, check that out, and check out the MFer. I got to catch up on Penguin, which I do like, and I might even after the stream, which I don't plan to go on super long. That's what she said, or he said, or they said, them said. Probably do an hour and a half ish of this. Hey, Fizz, appreciate you being back. Appreciate anyone coming back. But yeah, I mean, that George Lopez, of course, if he would have said it at a conservative rally, it'd have got more hate. But I mean, neither one should get hate. Jesus Christ. We used to have edgy humor in the mainstream. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be, and granted, the internet is now the new mainstream, and we're in this fragmented mainstream, which I kind of mentioned from the comment section. And as Weight Down corrected me, fragmenting, because it's getting even more fragmented by the day. But even still, you used to have edgy humor was mainstream. Like Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious was mainstream. Andrew Dice Clay was mainstream. You know what I mean? That's just how that's how we treated humor. It was okay to be. That was the point of it. It was a place to be offensive. Now, you still had to be funny. There was still like, if you're just offensive, you're just kind of a shot jock. That would be looked down upon. You're just using this shit. No, there were obviously good shot jocks. Obviously, Howard Stern at the time being one of them. But what I mean is, you couldn't just like shock your way to comedy. You had to still be funny. But like, you used to be able to be a mainstream and tell jokes that were quote unquote risque or worse, and that was okay because that's where we had cast comedy culturally. Well, just on the Trucker Rob channel playing 40K. Okay, on Trucker Rob, shout out to Trucker Rob and his 40K. I know only a little about 40K, but I know it's huge, and I do want to play that game. Speaking of games. The new 40K game or newer, as a Space Marine or something, a lot of people are pretty excited about. Yeah, it does make you sad because edgy is so tame compared to what it once was. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm just hardened by you psychopaths, but that's what he said. But no, it's just like, goodness, edgy used to really people some fucking extreme shit. You like his stand-up, but you're kind of a fucked up person. Fair enough. But I mean, it's not like he's some underground comedian. Like, millions of people know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? And fuck with him. So it's not like some totally off the wall to like Tony Hitchcock. I'm messing up his name. As you said, Kill Tony is one of the bigger shows of the week, as far as a weekly show on the internet. But we're just in a different time. You said thought it was cool with Eric Cotton. We're in a different time as far as what is mainstream. There's an argument that, hey, Tony Hinchcliffe is mainstream comedy, and therefore edgy comedy does still exist, and that the lamestream media is not representative of what's mainstream acceptable anymore. They're so past it that no, edgy comedy still does exist, and it is still mainstream and common. Because what is the threshold to mainstream right now in a fragmented mainstream? I mean, yes, we talk about Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, NFL, but the NFL loses ratings, especially during the regular season. And they had one of the worst rated Monday Night Football games last week. Part of that was because of all this stupid streaming shit. But man, they are picking horrible games for the weekly Monday and Sunday night games. I was talking about that with my brother, and it's like, these are supposed to be the biggest games of the week, and they're just usually useless games now because they've sold out so many games to so many different services. So even something as powerful, I say all that to say this, even as something as powerful and as ubiquitous as the NFL, at least it obviously here in the U.S., obviously not everybody here is in the U.S., but it's, the biggest, week to week is going to be the biggest rated show on television is going to be, football games. And even that is failing because not everybody watches football. I talked about some of the marketing issues that I believe they're having. And on top of it, people are just fragmented. While that football game is going on, there are still millions of people on Twitch watching Twitch streamers while any given football game is going. Literally millions of people on TikTok, literally millions of people on Instagram. Yes, some are doing multiples, but he's a top chef artist for NPCs. I grew up with Jason Todd showing people's heads in the duffel bag to the mob, right? How the fuck could you be woke? Fair enough. It was a soft joke, of course it was. Still a risky joke. I mean, I don't even think that's... I mean, I guess for this era it is. You're not wrong. And for that crowd, clearly it was. Or else there would be no backlash, right? But, I mean, that type of joke shouldn't be risky, man. That should be a safe joke. You know what I will say that just kind of hit my head? I think one of the reasons maybe there's some offense is, I talk about how the right loves dancing to the left's tune. The accusation of racism, as much as people will make fun of it, I think a lot of people are still sensitive of it on the right. And so when a comedian makes a joke that may be considered racist, they're like, no, this is, you know what I mean? Listen, not to go back to this well that we've beaten or go back to this horse that we've beaten to death, but Eric July, better or worse, whatever you feel about his comics, a lot of his audience, and not just Eric July, a lot of black conservatives, is we're not racist. See, this black guy agrees with us. Let's not kid ourselves. We've joked about it, but there is something to it. And as a result, they don't want that accusation that the left has channeled against all right-wing individuals. There's a lot of people who get their panties in a bunch whenever there's some evidence that maybe might be true. And so I think that's a part of why, oh, no, don't say this. Please. You know what I mean? And if I was totally wrong, I don't think Eric July would have made millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I don't think ABL would have nearly 1 million subs. You know what I mean? And all these other the Officer Tatum and guys like that. I'm not trying to knock any of these individuals. I'm saying, good for you, make money. I try to do the same thing. Why the hell would I'm not knocking you? I'm not knocking you. I'm just stating out a fact that there is that sensitivity amongst some conservatives because of the criticisms of the left. But that's the thing. I can't be racist. I'm watching black guy. See, this black guy agrees with us. I'm not racist. The gas did make it funny. You're right, Cotton. Because it was a mid joke otherwise, but then when they got offended, it kind of made it funnier. There is, yeah, that's why I say for better or worse. I don't get the irrational hatred of Eric July either. I do, well, there is an irrational hatred, right? I get the criticism, but the irrational hatred of him, and you're right, it's deeper than, I don't know what it is. I can't speak to that irrational hatred. The criticism is, hey man, this fucking comic, again, the assets, you promised a higher quality. Okay, we can talk about the writing of the comic all day, but there was a higher quality promise for this art that you did not deliver on. Therefore, I'm upset. I understand that. Now, the irrational hatred, I think maybe because of, on some level, some of the individuals who are critical of them, they have pretty big fan bases, and it became like a cool thing to be even crazier with whatever you did. So I don't know. I couldn't speak to their irrational hatred. Cause yeah, there definitely is. As much as like I said, I'm critical of him, did not like the Saskas. You know, I don't hate the guy. And hey, he was cool. I met him in person as VigilanteWilliamson. He was cool to me. Just like everybody, I'll say that. But I get if you bought the comic and realized, hey, these were traced assets, and you were upset about that, you had a right to voice your thing. But yeah, I know who you're talking about, small time. I've been critical of that too. Like, I can't, if I don't like a guy, okay, I'm not about to watch his content every day, talk about him all day long. You're right. That's weird too. That, yeah. Yeah, that Shab is a decent comparison too. That he kind of he turned a little bit to a low Kyle himself. But there's some people who are just, and that's just, you know what I'm learning? That's the internet for you, bro. Some motherfuckers are on here, they're legitimately mentally fucking ill. You know what I'm saying? And they may even get big followings, and they're legitimately mentally fucking ill. So there's a place where, you know, goofing on them, being critical of them is, I understand, but you're right. There's some people, and you know what? Maybe I kind of understand because there's a little bit of money. The ripoff verse is funny. If you ever check out that channel, I think Cotton has recommended it. And they got some funny skits, and I'll check in with them from time to time. And they clearly were people who followed a lot of people in the fandom, like the Geeks and Gamers one, where he's becoming more and more of like a, I don't know, like a LGBT snowflake or whatever as the thing goes along. It's funny. So they got some funny stuff. It's just genuinely okay funny. But then there's some weirdos, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That's what everything. That's unfortunately that's the way the cookie crumbles when it comes to the internet, man. There's some fucking psychos out here, man. There's no joke about. There's no joke. There's no doubt about that. And there's just some weird fuckers who are into some weird, you know. Not everybody's working with a full deck, man. And that's just, but they still have internet access. Shit, me and my brother kept saying this yesterday about talking about the box because they kept playing all these fucking ads. But the people rule, but the people are retarded. He kept quoting that shit because it's just that, you know, it's the truth. A lot of motherfuckers are just fucking retarded. There's no two words about it. Special needs, if that, you know, if that's too offensive. You still catch shit for thinking he's funny? That's crazy. I don't know if I missed something else. Shit, I don't want to die. Not like this. Man. Totally missed. Damn it, I died. You have no idea how much laughter the white people awkwardness towards Vig on Matt streams got out of me. Luckily, I was drunk. The rip-off verse. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. I did not get a Nerd Riot logo tattoo. I did not. Hey, if Nerd Riot, I don't know if anybody remembers this. FNT said, and I guess they kind of did. They did help out, what's her name? J Theory and what's the other girl? Oh my God. Me and Matt were even on her channel. Nina. I guess they did help them out. But they were supposed to help out a lot of people. They started off doing it and they kind of stopped. X-Ray got a tattoo? Really? How much is he paying her for that shit? Ain't no way in hell I'm getting nobody. I'm not even getting my logo tattooed on me. The fuck? Granted, I'm not a tattoo guy. Oh man, you're back. Appreciate it. Pics. Whoa, that's mad sus to ask for full body pics. How about this? Once I lose the weight completely and I have a kick-ass bodybuilder physique, I'll send those pics. Until then, I mean, if y'all in for some free Willy prawn, I mean, I can't help you. It's a lot of body fat, man. It's a lot of body fat, brother. So, if that's what you're down for, man, I did not expect this to become an OnlyFans. I don't plan on doing anything gay, but even that close, you're gonna have to pay. I mean, nah, man, I can't do just giving out full body pics for the free 99, man. But no, listen, good for them. I make fun, but I ain't got no hatred towards these motherfuckers. And deep down, hey, I'm glad they making money to the I'm not watching their content. If they can still support themselves, cool. I did learn how to YouTube from these guys, so I can't really just shit on the fandom. I'm not like somebody who's bitter at them at any means, or who just dislikes them. I didn't have any negative interactions with them. I just think the content is shitty and unwatchable and oversaid and obvious at this point. Just funny. Fair enough. But yeah. Nah, that's crazy. I mean, good for them, though. I mean, I guess she's down for the cause. I mean, I don't know how much he's been paying her. I mean, she ain't doing that job for free. So, I mean, if you've been making good money, $100K a year, whatever. I'm not saying he's paying her that much. But if let's say you have been making a similar bag to that per year for multiple years, you might feel some type of way, especially in this economy. Like, shit. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's somebody at NBC who got an NBC tattoo on them if they making enough money, right? So, that's their business. It's kind of wild, but like I said, I hope they have success. I hope this isn't too loud, shit. And again, thank you for watching this. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna watch this. And I appreciate y'all being here. Bet had a tattoo of the lower back. I think they do realize that, Cotton. They just talk, and that's my biggest thing. Well, let me say this. Some probably do believe their own bullshit, and let me just read the comment. Even though it does show up on the thing now. But yeah, a lot of these people doing YouTube content don't realize they're just a show. I don't watch TV anymore, right? It felt like, I did a show with Zombie Man, then I watched Matt, just like watching the TV, watching a podcast, watching somebody you would think, you know what I mean? That's what all YouTube is. Nothing more, nothing less. And some creators recognize that. And some creators recognize that and then market themselves as more because some people don't. Oh, yeah. Small time. I didn't know. That's what, what's his name said? We're fighting for the soul of this country. That's why I can't take his $50 million contract. Whatever that cuck's name was. God, what was this guy? I talk Crowder. That's the cuck. But yeah, I'm sure somebody on that Diddy list small time It's just like, yeah, could y'all not look at me? Like I said, apparently the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, and I'll hopefully get a stream this week. I wanted to do a stream Friday, but like I said, my ankle sucked, and then I was taking all these fucking meds and taking all this shit, trying to get that better, and that sucked. So I didn't really do much. And I wanted to talk about the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, and just the fact that this Diddy thing is not just Diddy, man. It's not just, oh, Diddy is... No, this is a systemic issue with the entirety of the entertainment business as a whole. Not just the music industry, not just hip-hop. Papa Cotton, I know rap is gay, ha ha ha. But it's not just hip-hop. It is the entirety of the entertainment industry. It is acting, it is movies, it's directors, even probably writers, I'm sure. And it's not just casting couch. Some of these people, these rich and powerful people in these industries, and hell, it's probably a lot of billionaires too. That's why certain islands existed. They have very specific, very dark taste. Yeah, we will win. Yeah, there's a lot of that in the marketing. And that, and you know what? I feel like that was fucked up. That's a legit criticism. That was something that put me off of a lot of the fandom. Because you know why? Because there were people who abso-fucking-lutely believed it. I would be on streams with these people, and they absolutely bought in. They absolutely bought in, and that made me. I felt like these people were getting taken advantage of. Now I've grown and matured, and even though I still think they were, I'm like, hey man, it's up to you to, you know. If I gotta tell you not to cross a busy street, you know what I'm saying? If you get hit, it's on you. You know what I mean? But I did feel like these people were getting taken advantage of. I think enough time has passed. I'm not gonna say I was ahead of the curve, but more and more people who did follow a lot of, and not just the fandom, but just a lot of these legit grifters who represented themselves to be more than just a random YouTuber. A lot more people know, oh, okay, that movement shit is bullshit. Unfortunately, there's still people who don't. And like I said, I did feel for these people initially, and there's a small part of me that still does, but there's a larger part of me that says, man, it's up to you. It's up to you to be an adult and recognize things as they are. All this woke shit is just a fad. Yeah, absolutely, it's a shitty one, and it will pass. And I believe what comes after this is going to be great. I think so too. I think we're starting to enter that phase. What woke did, you know, I've heard people talk about how feminism actually made it better for men, because now you recognize the bullshit, and now you're not going to get married. You're probably only going to date women recreationally. You're going to do a lot more to protect yourself. And in that same way, a lot of this woke stuff, what's the fall off of that? Well, killed a lot of corporal entertainment. It killed people's trust in corporal entertainment. It opened up the appetite for the average person to look elsewhere. That's why even the corporals got to find motherfuckers from the internet. They got to find these guys to even make themselves relevant. Love them or hate them, the guy Kai Cenat is doing T-Mobile commercials now, because you don't have a mainstream guy that popular. You have to find a Kai Cenat and find some of these weirdos on the internet. I'm not calling him a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Shit. You got to now look on the internet to find your new mainstream, because you can't produce them. You can't turn a fruitcake like Ezra Miller into a movie star anymore. You used to be able to do that. You had Tom Hanks. You used to be able to just manufacture a movie star from scratch, and you could just make some weird psycho a movie star. Now you got to look outside the mainstream space to find somebody to be a star, because you guys can't make them anymore. And not only can you not make them anymore, people don't want to hear your version anymore. So, and that's a lot of that is because of wokeness. It killed your confidence. It killed consumer confidence in mainstream media and entertainment, and opened it up for people like me, people on the internet, to have our small corner on the internet. Yeah, it's only 5 or 6 people watching, maybe 7, 8 people, sometimes 15. Not a lot, but you'll fucking watch. And there's 15, and there's 100 of me. There's 1,000 of me who can get 10 to 15 people to watch. And, you know, that's 15,000 people who aren't watching TV. There's probably 1 million, you know, 10, how many streams think you get 10 people going on right now? If it's, you know, what is it? 10,000 of 100,000. If it's 100,000 streams that you got 10 people, well, that's 1 million people ain't watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Chrissy Teigen. Oh, did they bring Chrissy Teigen into it? I know she's a demon. Yeah, she's a piece of shit. She should be fed to a wood chipper. God, you're right. That plays Erica. Real reason is streaming. Nobody watches original movies. They go straight to streaming, which means no profit. That's a huge part. Yes, you're right, Fizz. That's a huge killer of the movie star. You can't have a movie star if nobody goes to the fucking theater, and no movies go to the theater. That's worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? Gladiator 2, I'll probably check out in a couple weeks. I might do a review of that as well. But yeah, that's a huge part. You're right, streaming. And so that helped cut off their own nose on top of everything. I still think they pissed a lot of people off, but they definitely hindered their ability to rehabilitate themselves by putting everything on streaming and killing the theaters like they did. Yeah, that's definitely part. There's a lot of parts to it. Wokeness is not just it. This is a, you know, I'm sure there's already videos, and there will always be video essays on how the entertainment industry committed seppuku and killed itself. There's a lot of factors, and that's definitely one of them. Unless the name movie is already famous, yep. Unless it's already an established property, it's not going to the theater. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Even things like that James McAvoy movie that I already forgot the name of was apparently a remake. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely no original properties at the theater thing. So there's, you know, like I said, it's a multifaceted factor. Blake Lively, what did she say? Tone deaf shit. They try to recreate the Barbenheimer moment with her domestic violence movie, y'all. A new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. I don't know. Maybe. Golly. I really wish they would have original properties in the theaters again. I don't think that's a good idea to make it so nearly no original properties make it to the theaters. I think that's a bad idea, but that is clearly what their plan is. Watching movies with loud, smelly strangers is overrated. I've never been in a theater and noticed somebody who didn't wash their ass. That's wild work. But loud, I mean, yeah. That's okay. But honestly, you watch a movie now, I mean, it ain't gonna be packed, man. I know this is the tail end of movies being a thing, but I've had some, you know, even though the movies haven't been that great, some of the smoothest experience watching movies just in the past couple years when there's nobody there. You know what I mean? So you're not really watching it with that many strangers anymore, which again doesn't help out the profits. But summer matinees, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Summer matinee. I guess, you know what? Not that I haven't. I'm sure I've seen one. That's what the good Lord, you know, later movies, at least it's cooler. Because, you know, you get motherfuckers who've been out. Because, you know, the gimmick was they put them in shopping malls. And so you would go to a shopping mall, you'll walk around shopping all day, and then you would go to the movie theater. And I can see how that builds up a little more rankness than just going, you know what I mean, straight to a movie theater at night. So, yeah, I can see that. Said No Way Home, and I don't like this new Spider-Man. I still have not seen No Way Home, but that was a lot of people's only movie they had seen. And it had been a while for me for the movies. I think, what did I see? Even though it sucked, I saw that fucking Mortal Kombat movie, and I don't remember the last time I went to the theater before that. Maybe Infinity War. I didn't see Endgame in the theaters, and that's been like 3 or 4 years. And then before that, Civil War. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I think I saw Doctor Strange. I think they came out after Civil War. So, like many people, the only movies I'd really seen over the past 10 years were Marvel movies in theaters. Till recently, like I said, I've seen quite a few more movies. I've seen more movies since I moved to Texas than I have the whole 10 years preceding. And that's just because I'm hanging out with my brother. That's really the impetus. Like, hey, we need something to do. Let's go see a movie. And there's like no one in there. No one is watching movies anymore. So Endgame in theater, this last movie MCU see in theater. And we saw Deadpool, so checked out recent stuff. But I haven't saw every MCU movie since. I didn't see Ant-Man. I didn't see Ant-Man and the Wasp either, and that's pre-Endgame, I believe. He was in 3rd grade when it came out. Jeesh, making everyone feel older. The Gen Z. Last theater movie you saw was Dragon Ball Superheroes. Furious 7 in the 5th or 4th grade. Golly, that makes it old. That, you know what, Fizz? You're absolutely right. Was it the same thing? I don't know. Hollywood should put ridiculous and gimmick movies in theaters with low budgets, and they won't flop. That's how Hollywood used to work. They had a lot of low budget movies, and they also didn't spend, like, this is new that, we'll spend however much we spent on a movie for the budget, for the advertising budget. It was like half at best. You know what I'm saying? Interesting statistics say I've never seen a Spider-Man movie in theaters, and he's your favorite superhero here. Superhero. Yeah, y'all were too young to see Toby. The haze of nerd funk. Shit. That nerd funk is real. Shout out to AEW having to tell their fans how to bathe. Woo! That's crazy work. The haze of nerd funk. Yeah, certainly. I think even comic conventions will tell their fans and their people how to bathe. I think I did see that Mickey 17 movie. I vaguely think I've seen it, but I can't remember offhand what it is. But yes, and actually that's becoming the worst thing post-pandemic. A lot of people were cooped up in their houses, didn't necessarily wash that ass every day. Shout out to Arthur Stephen Walton for reminding people to wash that ass. You did watch the Raimi movies all the time on DVD. The Raimi movies are pretty fun. I still love them. Even the third one. The third one gets too much hate. But but then at the same time, Bully Maguire became a meme. That one was pretty good. It's underrated. I don't think it's as good as the first two, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I don't think Return of the Jedi is good as the first. That's maybe a bigger scale, but I don't think Return of the Jedi is as good as the first two. Doesn't mean that's not still good. I know some people disagree. People hate Return of the Jedi. Oh man, dark. Yo, what the fuck? Eggplant plus heat smells like shit. Is that what that's supposed to be? What would you got musty junk? I've seen so many Peter Parkers in your life. Guys who get shit on so much they become villains. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Fizz. Dark stuff. Shit, man. That makes you appreciate stuff. Oh, those are the Walton emoji. Oh, yes, right. The tree fucking thing. And then he liked coffee. I didn't get the shit part. But yeah, he was supposedly a tree fucker. That was a gimmick that somehow became a part of his lore. I forgot all about that. I wonder what he's doing. I haven't watched one of his streams in God knows how long. Maybe I checked one out like last year. But so I'm just taking a smoke break and then we'll get back into the beat 'em up. Loved all the Toby movies. And the first Andrew Garfield movie you like? I see. I wonder if they're going to bring any of them back for future work. And I mean, I don't know. Shout out to anyone who likes Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And I don't hate, it's not his fault. Just the character they gave him. He hasn't standed on his own ever. And even with No Way Home, the big draw is the other two Spider-Man and having them all exist. It's like he's just, the first one was, you know, him as Iron Man's sidekick in his own movie. And it's just, I don't know, man. He hasn't really stood on anything himself, and that's just made him less entertaining as a result. And less, you know, compelling. And it doesn't help that, you know, he's a short dude, and usually that wouldn't matter, but he just, as a result, he kind of seems like an infinite kid, even though he's like, what, 28, 29 now? And so it's like he's never grown up, and then they did the 5-year gap thing, so it's just, he's a perma child, and it makes it just, I don't know. Yeah, that height difference doesn't help. You see your jaw was on the floor when you saw how incompetent Peter was, right? Tree humming like the boy band from Gravity Falls. Dendrophilia. Coffee enemas? That was his thing? See, I don't know. There's a guy on YouTube named Arthur Sean Waldman is X-Pac. Arthur Stephen Waldman. And he's a character. And he had his own lore. And I didn't realize, I remember the tree fucking thing. I don't remember the coffee enemas. That's work. I guess they are. You're right. They are Hollywood's power couple. You know what? Now I realize I don't have to explain every comic because now they're on screen. That was actually heartbreaking to see as a Spider-Man fan. The idea that he has to that has never been a part of the lore of him looking up to Iron Man. Iron Man at best was an equal, and let's be honest, if we're talking about popularity, Iron Man has always been way less popular than Spider-Man. He still is way less popular, even with Tony Stark. People like Robert Downey Jr., and there are people who are now fans of Iron Man comics that weren't before RDJ took over the role. Don't get me mistaken, but this idea that Iron Man is superior to Spider-Man is fucking laughable. That's never been the case. Yeah, you had Civil War where I guess, you know, because of what Peter did by switching sides, but that was relevant in the thing. And even still, it wasn't like, yes, Iron Man's the leader of that faction, but it wasn't like Peter is just this peon to him, you know what I'm saying? Or this lackey to him. At times it may have felt like that, and that's what made it his Peter's own struggle in that you know, but that was like a thing. It was like, oh man, he's feeling like a lackey. That's bad. It wasn't like this is just how he always is. He looks up to him. Yes, Mr. Stark. Yes, Mr. Stark. What am I watching? What am I watching? Yes, Mr. Stark. Those words should never come out of any not just Peter, but any Marvel hero's mouth. Not anyone that I'm supposed to take seriously on their own. It shouldn't. Yes, Mr. Stark. It's as if he's one of us. Like, what the fuck? Like, he deals with serious threats on his own all the time. What the fuck are we doing here? RDJ, yeah, you're right. RDJ made him superior. I'm sick of superhero movies too, Cotton. Says you were raised on the comic book sick of superhero movies. Agreed. And yeah, like Fizz said, he's already a hero before meeting him. Even in the lore of the MCU, but he's so incompetent he needs him. Nobody really likes Iron Man. Right, naming these villains and storyline. I mean, all I can name is the more popular ones like Extremis and Demon in the Bottle from which was only like 2 comics, like the 70s. It's not like he has this whole thing. And then of course Civil War, which, you know, obviously is more than just him. And it's really a Marvel-wide crossover. You know what I'm saying? Oh damn, I just got murked. Oh Lord, what the hell demonic imagery that you sent to me, Richard. Jesus Christ, brother. Like, fuck. Armor Wars. You know, I vaguely know about Armor Wars too. I didn't think they no, they didn't have a you're right. Hank Pym was older, and they had I forgot what the fuck his character was. Man, that's for me. Man, I probably should time you out just to keep my channel going, brother. Like, I don't know. I know you're 19. Homie, I gotta keep the channel. I want my channel to exist. I get that you don't. My guy. Scott Lang, thank you, Fizz. My guy. Maybe you're just not, you haven't been on Earth enough to know that I can't just show that shit. Man. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe this is a youth thing. Brother, I want the channel to be fully monetized. I just gave Google my fucking real information just so my shit can be monetized. Please, my guy. Like, yeah, you're right. None of the cartoons were that popular. Not the ones in the 60s or the ones in the 90s. Or even, I guess, some of the Avenger ones they made in the 2000s and 2010s were okay. But I liked them. I don't know how popular they got, though. I know it's just an ancient Indian symbol, but like it's a lot more than that. And listen, I've seen little stuff in Korea and stuff. They have that symbol, but it's a huge issue. I get it. Ha ha ha. Let's get Viz to destroy his channel. There was an Iron Man cartoon in the 2000s called Armored Adventure. I didn't even know that. And doesn't it have to be at a different angle or something? I don't know. But please, man, I get it. Jokes, low. Please, I just want to keep the channel. You know what, man? This is a free. I try to keep this as a free speech space. I know it's just a fun place for you guys to be. Please help me keep your free speech place, but like allowing it to exist. Cool. Homie, I will have to take away your mind ability if you need me to show that. It's like that. Like, please, I want my channel to exist. And you know what? I understand that low spec about like not giving them their information and just saying fuck it, I won't be monetized, and that's fair enough. And maybe on some level that's more noble than wanting to be monetization. Maybe. But man, granted, I'm not doing the type of numbers at this point where monetization will make that much of a difference. I can't even get over the $100 threshold as far as super chats and stuff. Not, and that's not, y'all don't gotta send a super chat ever. You can just watch for free. If you want to send a super chat support, your boy would appreciate it. But most of that, Google has only gotten that money. I don't even have enough yet to actually get out, because 100 is, you need to at least get $100. I only got like 40 bucks in there. I think somebody sent like some $20 super chats, and that's all Google's money for now. Come on, man. I'm not entertained. I'm done entertaining. This is wild, man. Y'all are wild. I thought Stream East was bad. I guess Stream East is probably still worse than y'all. Armored Adventures was 2 seasons. Okay. There's a few cartoons that existed in the aughts I missed or didn't check out. I did see The Batman, which was underrated. And then, what was the X-Men? It was Wolverine and the X-Men, something like that. That's pretty fun, too. India Stinks. Oh, shit. I meant to bring that up with, not India Stinking, but like, so I've talked about why I am going to release stuff on Spotify. The main reason is that people from India will copyright your stuff and then put it on Spotify themselves. And I meant to tell Zombie Man that, so he could watch out for that shit. And him and his dad could watch out for that shit. I don't know if Zombie Man's here or if he's lurking or if Dempsey's lurking. But yeah, that's the thing. People will go to these... and a lot of them are from India. I'm not trying to bash that country. But they will go to SoundCloud and see if it's on Spotify, and if it isn't, they'll put it on Spotify, they'll put it on Tidal, they'll put it on all these platforms themselves, and they'll make money off your music, and then you'll still end up getting copyright claimed by somebody else who owns your music. So that's the problem with not trying to be totally. I meant to say that shit. Beware the Batman, because I don't know if I saw Beware the Batman. I missed that too. I saw the Batman and Batman Brave and the Bold, but Beware the Batman, I didn't see that. Yeah, the Batman was actually a pretty good show. And it took forever. I guess they had some weird, because DC Warner Brothers always does this weird shit where when they have a thing, they don't want certain characters to exist. So it wasn't until the last season that they could introduce the Justice League, or the second, maybe this could have been the second to last, but it was very late in the show's run, which I think only got 4 seasons before they could even introduce Superman and Wonder Woman and some of these other characters, because they wanted to wait till Justice League Unlimited was done. And also, they got rid of a lot of Batman characters in Justice League Unlimited when the Batman came out, which was I don't understand the thinking. Is they don't want these characters to exist in multiple places at once, which is I don't understand. I don't get it. Apparently, I think that's why Superman and Lois got canceled. It's because they're doing the James Gunn, which I never checked it out, but it looks like it was a solid show. When I see clips of it, it looks like it really treated Superman with respect as a character. But that Superman and Lois show about Superman and his family, and they're getting rid of it because of James Gunn's new reboot. Because that's how DC rolls. There's an issue for sometimes. So those companies in Brazil used to do that shit on YouTube. Apparently there's companies in India doing that shit now with India and Pakistan. Apparently it's a big thing, and that's the main. That's what's tipping me into, like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to deal with these platforms. I'm gonna check out United Masters. If not, I think I've heard so many negative things about all these. Pretty much, I haven't heard a positive thing about any of these music distributors. So I'll see how United Masters work. I have heard of them. I just didn't really check into them. Beware the Batman was 2011. Okay. So yeah, they did. What was it? The Batman, I think, is 04 to 07. I think Batman Brave and the Bold was probably 08 to 2011. And the Beware the Batman. They did not have to just keep one of the shows running long enough. You won't have to keep rebooting it to a new show. Now, maybe Beware was actually a good show. I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's kind of after my time, so I didn't check it out. I did check out, and I didn't even check out Brave and the Bold until years later, until it was already done. It happened to be on Netflix. This was the time before every corporation had their own streaming service, and Netflix and Hulu were just the only two that really existed. And so there was a lot more of corporate stuff on these platforms, which is really the only time they were really valuable, and they were a lot cheaper then too. But yeah, that was when I saw Brave and the Bold, like in 2013, 14, 15, after it was already canceled. And man, I would have loved this show. It's a really good show, really fun show. Batman Brave and the Bold. And it made Aquaman even seem cool. Outrageous. You know what I mean? It was a cool show. It was a cool, fun, not too serious, but semi-serious enough take on the Batman, and had a lot of lesser characters. Probably the best version of the modern Blue Beetle with Jaime Reyes, at least in a non-comic context. I mean, they had him in Young Justice as well, and I like the first couple seasons of Young Justice. I didn't pick up with them after they brought him back, but he wasn't really featured as much in that as he was in Brave and the Bold. You remember Brave and the Bold? Yeah, I thought Brave and the Bold was well done. Definitely should have got. I think, you know what I mean. Definitely should have got more time. But I mean, they gave it 3 seasons, but they could have done a couple more. But DC never knows what it has, no matter what it does. I've been even thinking about making a video. I think they should have. Listen, I'm not a Zack Snyder stan, right? I think a lot of his stuff is mid at best, and he's. I don't think he did that well with a lot of like the Batman that he made, or even the Superman that he made. That said, Zack Snyder's Justice League was actually pretty good, and I think he should have been given time to improve. He should have been given time, and then let's also be honest. They did a lot of interference throughout the whole process, and part of the reason even that Superman was so dark was because they wanted to piggyback off Christopher Nolan's energy. Zeus, you're not a part of the stream. Move. Go home. Oh, man. Watched Brave Road when you were 6, making me feel old. We were first exposed to Batman. But, I mean, yes, it really was oriented initially as a kid's show, which is why I skipped it and just randomly watched it on Netflix, years later. So you were really the target audience at first, but it just it was smart enough that you could still enjoy it as an adult. There's no improvement under Corpo's thumb. That goes back to why the new mainstream is going to have to be outside the Corpo reach. And even in something like the music industry, I think they do kind of understand it. That's why you have all these smaller labels. And that's why you have things like Empire, where they can invest a lot less. They may give up a lot of their control for that, but they recognize, you know what? We don't know what we're doing. And let's just not be completely evil. Give up some control. We'll invest less, and we'll probably make more. You didn't hear, you heard about Atlantic having to drop all these artists. You didn't hear about some of these smaller labels and or projects and that incorporate a lot of these small labels, like an Empire. Oh, there's other ones I can't think of, where the whole idea is to sign smaller labels and acts and let them, give them a budget that's decent, but not necessarily as much of a mainstream. And a lot of these companies have thrived in that space of being like semi-indie, semi-mainstream. And then every now and again they get a breakout star like a Amigos or a Triple X Tentacion or a Juice WRLD or whoever. And it's a lot less risk for them. And on paper it seems better for the audience, except the fact that all three of those acts either have died or lost a member of them. It's this Empire Curse gimmick that's a thing. But I mean, shit, even artists I love like Babyface Ray, I think Alchemist released stuff on the Empire. I think Pimpire Records for Rock Marciano might be under Empire. It sounds like it is. I'm not 100% sure on that one. So a lot of people have definitely worked with Empire. And no, it's not what the show Empire was about. The show Empire was about a fictional record label that was ran by Hustle and Flow veterans Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson. But there's also a record label called Empire that caters itself to independent rap labels and does these deals with these independent rap labels and artists that they're not quite independent and they're not quite major, and they're trying to take the advantages of both, the best of both worlds. Yeah, Raucous was a good example of that as well, because where on the surface you thought it was an independent label and you find out, I forgot whose sons ran it, but they were the sons of like big time record execs, and that made a lot of money. That was a great example, early example of that is Raucous Records, where they were able to get a bunch of independent artists and give them a platform that wasn't quite a major label platform, but was still much bigger than a normal independent platform. That's how you got Mos Def, Talib Kweli, amongst others. So yeah, that's a very good comp. That same idea being done well before modern times with the Empire. And there's other labels. I'm having stream brain. There's a lot of big ones that I just cannot think right now. But that prevents what happened at Atlantic, where you got to lay off everybody and you got to do everything because we're not paying that much. You know what I mean? We're not gonna lay off everyone because we're not paying. You know, you can still do this on a budget. Hey, Tom. You said girlfriend of yours watched this show. I didn't get into it either. Empire. I thought it was overrated. It just soap opera is a good term. It was just dramatic and it's just kind of dramatic and kind of gay. But a lot of people liked it. I wasn't the biggest fan of it personally. Same old. Yeah, this ain't new. I'm sure they had things like this in the 80s. You do the shit. My theory is Sub Pop was that, and it just the only difference is you never found out that it was that. But that's my theory. This idea that Kurt Cobain and Nirvana just came out of nowhere. Like, nah, homie, y'all put too much. I doubt that. I think you knew exactly what you had because the way y'all act, you marketed him like you knew exactly what you had. But it's a good story to tell the kids, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that was a big thing that one of the people in it were gay. Isn't that how? Wasn't Jesse Smollett in Empire, or am I making that up? Isn't that where he got famous? I mean, now he's kind of infamous for the the incident with the with the MAGA hat wearing racist in the middle of winter in Chicago that we all know exists. Actually, it might exist now because so many motherfuckers in Chicago who ready to vote Trump nowadays. Because I'm talking about brothers wanting to vote for Trump in Chicago nowadays, which is one of the most liberal cities historically of all time. But that's why I do think Trump has a chance, because a lot of people who before hated Trump are like, nah, man, the past 4 years was too much for him. It was too much for a lot of people who normally otherwise would be quote unquote liberal. They're just like, nah, man. Jesse Smollett was famous because of Empire. Okay. Juicy Smollett. Yep, that's him. So, yeah, he was from Empire. Okay. No, it's funny how everything links up. So, yeah. In 1984, shout out to Justice League Detroit. Shout out to the fact that Detroit was so relevant in the 80s. We got our own Justice League. There's no Justice League Milwaukee. Or is there? I know there's the West Coast Avengers and shit. I think there's the Is there a West Coast Justice League? I feel like there might be. It probably do his audience. Black people love gay sex scenes. Unfortunately, there's becoming an increased segment of which that's true. Historically, that was definitely not the case. Historically, that was a major issue. Or else things like no homo and pause wouldn't be a thing, right? But unfortunately, there's a lot of DL brothers, as they would say. So you would be surprised. Or maybe you wouldn't be. Urban people. This type of coded language I'll be using with you is probably going to get me canceled one day. Oh, well. It is what it is. Shit, I went to Detroit the past couple years. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? And I was in the Coney Island a little later on a Saturday. Shout out to Euros, Gyros, whatever. I like Coney Island. Miss Coney Island. Actually, there's a gyro shop opening next to me. We'll see how that goes. But there was they, them definitely there. And the pronouns were respected in the hood. This was a hood Coney Island I went to. And it was, later in the evening. And pronouns were respected. So there's that. Shout out to the West Side. It's not as bad as you think, but like I've said, apparently Portland and San Francisco for years has had India-esque problem with people shitting on the ground. I never saw shit on the ground my entire life that was human shit ever. That has never happened. Dog shit, yes. Human shit, never. Granted, I never lived downtown. I know downtown is a different beast for all urban areas, let alone my home city. But I primarily lived in the west side almost the whole time. And I know the east side's supposed to be a little worse. The west side can get cracking too, unfortunately. And somebody made a mixtape called Detroit 48219, and that's the zip code I grew up in. Shout out to Redford, that's not too far. Shout out to Southfield, that's not too far. Livonia Mall, shit like that. It ain't even Livonia Mall no more, it's a Walmart. But used to be Livonia Mall. Old heads like me remember. If the youth doesn't. No. You can't go to my child. Maybe I'll do that one day if I'm popular enough for that to matter. But otherwise, no. The fuck? Detroit, Rock City. I can't imagine really even here in Houston, like the fact that someone may take a dump, hearing that like about San Francisco and Portland and Washington and all these areas, like there are people shitting in the streets. That's like insane. It's insane that could ever be normalized, and that's been the case for a while. Like what? How bad does a place have to get to where people are shitting on the street? But I mean, when you have an intentionally created homeless problem, an intentionally created drug problem, you make homelessness illegal. I mean, that's those two things enough. You intentionally create a homelessness problem, you intentionally create a drug problem. All of a sudden, shit starts getting really crazy really fast. Levi Stadium's a major spot. Yeesh. Wow, San Fran. Oh yeah, you talked about that meeting Gene Simmons and then ruining Kiss. I felt like you didn't like Kiss, and you're right. You said meeting Gene Simmons fucked you up for Kiss, and that's crazy. Levi Stadium. That's the big. Isn't the stadium where 49ers play? Intentionally create a homeless problem. Yes. Well, I mean, one. A lot of these places do, especially in California, did this stuff, and they still do it, called rent control, which you would think would make the places have cheaper rent, but instead it made the rent higher. Why? Because the rent control was such that you could not build a new house profitably for the laws they had made for new houses. New houses must cost this much. So what happened is less houses got built. And as a result, the houses that did exist, the price went up sky high. And why do I call it an intentional problem? Because after you realize this, you don't correct it. And they never corrected it. So that's why I say this is an intentionally caused homeless problem. Now, on some level, warmer places, you would imagine if someone is homeless, why be homeless in a cold place if I could somehow get west or south where it's warmer? I eliminate one of the biggest issues with being homeless, and there's something to that. But that, and then wasn't there like some organized migration of homeless people to California? Where the 49ers play probably is why it shows up on the shit map. Did they win yesterday? I didn't even watch that fucking Sunday night game. I'm not, listen, it's not 1990 anything. I don't have to act like I care about the 49ers or the Cowboys. Jerry Rice ain't walking through that door. Emmitt Smith ain't walking through the door. These are two mid teams. Maybe the 49ers will build themselves up throughout the year and be a better team. I don't think there's a chance in hell the Cowboys do. Dak Prescott's making $60 million a year. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about nothing. I can look in that man's eyes and say he don't give a shit. So I didn't watch the whole game. Yeah, me and my brother at halftime, we just called it. And I was like, all right, we're done with this shit. It's a horrible game. Yeah, it was just who cares? I say even the NFL's having problems with retention, fan retention. They definitely lost a lot with that Kaepernick gamble. They were able to make a good profit on the return contracts with the contracts they've signed since. Made them a boatload of money, and they keep selling games to different platforms. So they're still making a lot of money, but we're starting to see chinks in the armor of the NFL when it comes to, just the product. There's a lot of people dissatisfied with the product. A lot of more people think it's rigged, and on top of being rigged, I think this is true about the NBA as well. There's this lack of effort given because of the cost of these contracts. You start paying somebody $60 million a year, and they just can't generate the same effort they did for $10 million a year, or $15 million a year. Which is still a lot of money. And then you start paying guys $15 million a year, $10 million a year to ride the bench. The effort just goes down. It's like, man, I'm not even starting. I made enough money to live forever off of. Which, of course, they'll go broke in 5 years. But, you know what I'm saying? They don't realize that. Or maybe they won't. Maybe it's so much money that it's harder to go broke. I know there's a stat about most athletes are broke 2 or 3 years. Similar stat with lottery winners. About 2 or 3 years afterwards, they're broke already. But I think we're getting just less effort out of these athletes because they're overpaid. On top of Vegas having to say, on top of all the other factors, on top of the perk 30s that some of these assholes are popping before the game. And other shit. They used to do, back in the 80s, they would do cocaine before a game. And it's like they get hyped up. They're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Now you're on the perk 30 and you're on the bench trying to rizz up some Instagram thought instead of focusing on the plays and shit. That makes sense. I wonder if Abu Dhabi has a similar thing. But only place on earth where rent control makes sense is Monaco, one of the richest place on earth, so they have to keep the rents low for the local workers. Rich people need workers. They don't like doing shit themselves. And there's other things. That's just one off the top. I ain't gonna act like I'm a political scientist. My theory is they want a lot more people homeless because the cost of living is just so outrageous. How can you not? What else is going to happen? And we know all of the cost of living increases are not just linked to inflation. That many cost of living increases were linked to companies wanting more profit. Not just in the let's lay off people because we'll make more money, forcing less people to do more people's work, which is a huge thing, which that means there's less people getting those wages. But let's arbitrarily make things more expensive so we can generate more profits because we can use inflation as an excuse to do so. So that's definitely a thing. It's just fucked up, but it's just the truth. What time is it? It's midnight. After midnight. Probably go another half hour or so. This stream just to really catch up. I did the Zombie Main stream earlier, which was cool. I haven't been streaming as much. We'll probably have some videos out this week. I got a sports-related video and a non-sports-related video. We're doing a lot of sports content. For those who care and like the sports ball. Got a basketball related video I need to put out. I already recorded. And then a video on single mothers and why they're criticized that aims to kind of bridge the gap. I'm not trying to be super red pill in this video. And I may actually redo it to even soften the blow less, even though it's probably not going to matter. I missed UFC. My brother showed me some highlights though. I saw that fucking fighting game level double back fist, and I saw that Cosmo got choked out. And did he break his jaw or some shit? But I didn't see it live, but I saw highlights. I totally, god damn it, I was so pissed at it. I like why have I saw no fucking commercials? I keep seeing all these bullshit political ads about the fucking Senate race here in Texas. I keep seeing Ted Cruz and Colin Allred commercials, but I can't fucking see a UFC commercial, much boxing and fight content as I watch. God damn it, it just pissed me off. But no, I didn't see it. Well, Holloway got KO. Oh man, the poor KO Holloway. Yeah, that sucks. I hate that I missed it, but no, I did not see it live. And I had to watch highlights and shit later. And try to watch full fights just to get some of that feel. This fucking sucks. YouTube, fix your algorithm. Stop showing me shit I don't want to see. They'll show me a bunch of political bullshit. Maybe it's because my channel talks so much about it. You all you do is talk about it. Bitch, I love sports and shit. That's the one thing I do watch constantly. Show me motherfuckers bashing each other's heads in. Show me more ONE FC. Shit. Show me more UFC. Show me more fucking MMA and boxing. That's what I want to see. Shit. You showing me this bullshit. It does show me some boxing content still, but does not show me nearly enough MMA stuff. And so I didn't even know the fucking. And the only platform I use is YouTube, unless I'm sending horrible memes to Richard on Instagram. I posted a TikTok video, which was just a clip from one. Speaking of soap opera, the little Chinese, the Chinese dating channel that I've showed clips of, and it was. I tried to get it on YouTube, but it fucks up, so whatever. But it was this girl, this lady talking about, yeah, you don't need a paternity test. None of the 3 kids we had over the past 16 years of yours. I'm like, god damn, that's a hell of a way to start off a sentence and start off a conversation. It's just wild shit. But don't worry, just get your passports and you'll find a better girl somewhere else outside the country. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, it's a wild start of a sentence. I was like, god damn. Could you imagine saying that to somebody? You gotta truly hate this motherfucker. And that's the worst thing. Do they all have the same father, or is it a bunch of different fathers? And that, don't ask me why marriage is dead, man. If one woman says that sentence, you gotta be thinking, wait a second. You're telling me this man was married to this woman this whole time, and she was letting strangers spray her up for years. She was getting sprayed up like a block in Chicago for years by randoms, and he was sitting there paying the bills, thinking these kids are his. God damn, that's fucked up. That's super fucked up. Yeah. So that's why I can't stop watching that fucking channel. So it is like a soap opera or like a Jerry Springer show thing. I will not deny that shit has like a Chinese Jerry Springer effect. I don't watch K-dramas, but I will watch that shit because it's fucking hilarious and horrible at the same time. Yeah, you had to truly hate that motherfucker. Sad work though. Sad work. But it's how it goes down. Like it's suplexed. And shout out to everybody watching. Got 11 people it shows. So thank you for watching. I know we got more and more as I've done more videos the past few weeks, and they do okay. Get a couple hundred people to watch a video sometimes. That's become more and more common. Even videos that start off not the biggest audience sometimes have a day where a few people watching. So we got a few more lurkers. It's not, there are people who watch this content who aren't subscribed, and there are people who are newly subscribed. So thank you both for watching this stream. If you're watching it, I appreciate it. be fair, the Chinese have. Oh man, I wonder how true that is though. To be fair, the Chinese, so it's hard to tell them apart. No wonder he didn't clock it. These views are held by Session Dildo, not necessarily the views of Vigilante Williamson. Even if he does find a joke sort of funny, doesn't mean these are my views. But no, yeah, I mean, maybe there's something to that. That sucks though. Gotta suck. And for the children, it's gotta suck. It sucks for everyone involved. And it was the wildest part. She went on to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." Like he should still be cool with it. Like that's crazy work. That's crazy. And you know what? I gotta blame men. We have gassed up women so dramatically across the planet that they actually think sentences, strings of sentences like that, are acceptable. That you should still be cool with raising someone else's kids, even 3 of them, because at least you're still getting the woman. And we know, because of simps, how overvalued woman and Badussi have become. And if we just, and listen, Badussi's a wonderful thing. Women are a wonderful thing, but they're not so wonderful that they can be completely horrible and untenable and still deserve admiration and love and all this other shit and undying admiration. But the simphood, and don't get me wrong, some bitches are just sociopathic demons. But the reason we got so many is, I don't know what they got. Listen, WeChat. She hops on WeChat. You know, she has 100 guys in her DMs. Like you said, they all look alike. So, I mean, that's what he said. Not me. I want my child to grow. Please grow. But, you know, so if she liked him, you know what I mean? She's going to probably like whoever's in the DMs too. So there you go. And now you got all these dudes in the DMs. Whatever good morning beautiful is in Chinese, that's what she's hearing, 100 times over. She don't need the guy she's with. She can find somebody else. And her DMs prove it. And so now she does. Even if she keeps the same guy. You know what I'm saying? There you have it. Welcome to the modern world. Welcome to the party, pal. I'm trying to survive. After this death, because I'm going to be dead pretty soon, the next death will probably be the last one, because we are going to wrap up at some point. I used to do 3-4 hour streams, but I don't have it for. Plus, I'm going to try to make some music. Yeah, shout out to his self-control for not murking her on the spot, right? For not just reaching his hands up and just grabbing her and just choking her till she didn't exist. So here we go again. Here we go again on my own. I gotta talk about something. I don't want to just keep saying Trump, Kamala, Jesus. And I don't watch the news. And I mean, I can only talk so much about sports here, especially football. I mean, it was cool to see the Redskins pull off that Hail Mary against the Bears. That was fucking crazy. I thought the game was over. Oh no, they're not gonna. I mean, come on. I didn't think he could get into the end zone, but boy, was I wrong. Oh man, I'm still surviving. Maybe I'll do next death. How about that? Next death, since I was able to re-heal. We'll do next death, and then we'll call it a stream. No news. I like my brain rot in a different flavor. I just watch random shit on whatever now Instagram or YouTube feeds me as far as memes. You know what I did find valuable for just as making music. I saw it started from a short, and then I ended up watching the full video. I finally understand modes and music theory. And so now I need to be better at playing them. But yeah, that's gonna change my music going forward. That I now understand how modes work. And actually, this looks like this death might be coming pretty quick, guys. But that's still an hour and a half. But I finally understand how modes work and how modes work with each other. That's the main thing. And basically how to write chord progressions without just staying in one mode. Or even if you do stay in one key and just using modes to change. When I say key, I mean like the key signature, i.e. the same notes, because different modes translate to different keys. There's a whole way. There's a chart that I downloaded that helps this tremendously. And that chart, I have never, until outside of learning how scales worked in a college course in when I was like 19, I've never had this much musical knowledge imparted this fast to me. And it just, everything all of a sudden made sense. What's your favorite mode? The circle of 3/5. You know what? I should time you out, but there's something, you got to be fairly clever to make both a musical and racial joke. If you don't know what the circle of fifths is how chords interact with each other and how chord progressions, what chords are in a given key. That's the circle of fifths. 3/5. I got to time you out. It's too bigoted not to. But I gotta also appreciate the cleverness. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds for your bigotry. But it's also clever. Hey, Prayerhead. Appreciate you being here. Is this playable on stream? Probably not. Oh, geez. Hold on. What is this? Why is my chat this way? Why you do this? Why are you like this? Chat. Why? Why is it just insane? What is this? Hold on. Oh, of course. What else was it going to be? It was either that or Erica. Funny but wrong. It's so clever, I can't help but to commend it. Circle of 3/5. Like, fucking bigot. Fucking asshole. Why you timing out the Croatian? Why'd you time him out? I love you guys. I hate you. I love you and hate you at the very same time. Circle of 3/5. That was clever. That was clever. I must say. But it was so big that it has to be timed out. But that's absolutely really clever. Because not everyone knows what the fucking circle of fifths even are, right? That's where it's pretty clever. And I guess it's probably a more popularized concept because everything, just like how chess has become more popular. It's just like you can see everything now in this modern internet. You'll see elements of things that you may not even cared about otherwise. Gunther's not that good. He's like better than a lot of these losers who suck, but he's still like not that great. Like Gunther would not be able to hang in any other era. I mean, unless they went further with him as a Yahtzee. Like if they were in the Attitude era and they just made him a full-on Yahtzee, they could maybe do something with him. Like 97, 98, the early Attitude era. He was just a legit Yahtzee. He was just beating up non-white characters and, you know what I mean? Shit like that. He could work. Outside of an era where he's allowed to actually do that and just based on what he actually is, he's just okay. But luckily for him, everybody is so trash that being just okay makes him fucking world champ. You know what, Cotton Ministries? I appreciate that. I appreciate that you'll be writing a stern letter to your congressman about the atrocities that were committed here today. I appreciate that. You're doing your part as an American citizen. Are you voting as well? Even the NFL vote. Why? Why should I vote? What do I get? Huh, y'all was giving out like donuts and shit for that damn jab. How come I don't get shit for voting for these assholes? If y'all was giving out free donuts, like a fucking free Krispy Kreme dozen to fucking vote, I will vote. You know what I'm saying? I know some people fucking sacrifice their entire health for shit like that, but still, which is wild. Like motherfuckers was getting like $20 gift cards, getting the death jab. Wild work. Vote Harris. Wait till the end of the level and try to read your comment. And try not to die. Just trying. Okay, you said voting knee pads. You compare every modern wrestler with the Attitude Era like nobody's the Godfather showing white girl. Shut the fuck. What is wrong with my chat? People are weak. I kind of think, ooh, this is a different take. America needs a Kamala presidency. This generation needs hard time. They're going to get more sissy. That's a hot take. You know what? We definitely might get it. I think we're going to get to some hard times regardless of who's the president. I don't think this is a global thing. That's been my theory. That's why I'm not. This is why I'm not voting. One, the orange man is inheriting a way worse economy than he inherited from Obama. Not saying that was the best economy, but this shit right here is a goddamn nightmare. You know what I mean? So he's if he were to win, he'd be inheriting a way worse economy. Thus, I don't think he'll be successful. And B, this isn't by happenstance. This is the fall of the West. This is the planned fall of the West and the planned selection of countries like China over us. That's what this is. This is the international bankers, the globalists, picking China, picking BRICS, picking other places outside the U.S. This is the crashing of the United States dollar. This is a lot of things that are going to happen. This is the installing of global Marxism, global communism as the norm. This is beyond one guy, and best case scenario, he slows it down for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's not worth anything if just having another 4 years to get your affairs in order. But this is deeper than Kamala. This is deeper than Kamala and Trump. It's deeper than rap. And, you know, might get lucky. The Haitians will turn the tide. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. The war is going to expand. Sheesh. You're not wrong. We might be in for World War III on top of everything. Yeah. He'll vote for whatever people lower his pot costs. Well, haven't both sides said they would legalize pot? Obviously, Trump more likely to do it than Kamala. But I think both have said something about pot legalization at a national level. Which I don't know why they don't. And make it a state thing. Now, will Texas fall in line? I don't know. If it gets on the ballot for people, I know how people will vote. But I think they'll keep it off the ballot. Texas. World War III, Civil War happened at once. I'm unconvinced about the Civil War, but I'm wrong about a lot of shit. I don't think the Civil War is real. I think maybe we'll have a Fed event like we had in 2020 and 2021. A lot of events where a bunch of Feds were meant to represent us as the people, and they made it look like people were actually rioting when they were all federally funded organizations. Your taxpayer dollars were rioting. The regular people weren't really rioting. Maybe a few get caught up. And it looks like we're about to die here and get out of here for this stream. But I'm because of that, I don't think the average person is really down to get that mad about anything. I know conservatives have convinced themselves that they will, but they won't. They're not going to ride. They're not going to ride. Hey, low spec legal here for me now? Question mark. About to head to Croatia. I know it's all the celebrity that we know went to the island are very vocal for Harris. And that's not a coincidence, I'm sure. Legal here for me now? Question mark. I'm not sure if I missed something or just don't understand. Hard being deeper than Kamala. Hi-oh. You gonna head to Croatia if World War III or Civil War happens? Who knows? Like I said, I'm not so convinced on the Civil War. World War III though. Is that Clooney? Was he's an island boy, so to speak. Guess since we talking, I'll still chat with you guys for a little bit, but I'm done playing games. Dude, I'm tired of playing games, man. Hey, Forbidden Ruin, appreciate you being here. We're actually at the end of the stream, but we'll talk for a little bit. Uh-oh, hopefully we will. Just heard something. USB. Uh-oh, a USB. One of my fucking, I got 1,000 USB hubs. Shit's the fan going to Mexico. Fair enough. Yeah, so much talk about the border. A lot of people going to be crossing the border the other way if this shit gets real. Just getting baked. That's what I'm about to do. Get baked. Maybe watch the rest of the Penguin. Maybe mess around with some music. Who you root for? Is it Croatia or Germany? You got to pick one. Got to pick one, Retro Richard. Cartels won't be as bad as U.S. feds. Listen, despite all this border stuff, a lot of people love Mexico, including people who are from there and who currently live there. Like, a lot of the people who are coming from the border are not Mexican. They, even historically, they were Venezuelan. They were, you know what I mean, from Colombia, from other parts of Latin and South America. And then we know about the sleeper cells China is sending, using the cartels. A lot of people love Mexico. Shit, I mentioned her earlier. Doesn't Nina, hadn't this whole time she's been in Mexico, even though she's from, I think, Canada? Haitian. Yeah, that's the thing, right? They're eating the dog, Zeus. They're eating people like you or creatures like you. My dog showed up. Yeah, because my dog could tell the stream's over. Stream's over, so I can harass him again. It's okay, cute dog. Actually, cannot, even though he's got a haircut. Kanukistan. Kanukistan. I'm sorry. That's even funnier. Hold on. They don't want to eat Zeus. They don't like white women. Oh, stop. Where's Zeus? Hold on. You're probably going to see a lot of jank. Zeus. He's trying to get pet. What is that on the ground? That's trash. That's all sorts of trash. Okay, Zeus. Hold on. Watch out. Hey. Uh-oh. Zeus, don't run away. Okay. Never mind. What did Trudeau do? What did he do? And yo, has the Canadian election happened yet? When does that happen? Zeus acts like an emotional lesbian. He kind of does. He is an emotional dog. He's went through some stuff though. Don't talk. You know, Zeus went through it. He didn't get this way just because he had some tough stuff. But he's my boy. He's my emotional support dog, so I can't talk too much shit about him because I'll be crying to him. Canada won't have an election until Trudeau proves of one. What? Or I hope that's a joke. He laundered hundreds of millions of tax dollars to his private company. Wow, not shot. Zeus is from Detroit. Zeus is from Detroit, and he got shipped to the Carolinas, and then he got shipped again to Mexico. Not Mexico, North Mexico, aka Texas. This is North Mexico. Which I don't got a problem with, honestly. Motherfuckers here been treating me good. No joke. He can start an election season and never had the election. Wow. He was at the Diddy parties with Brian Griffin. Yeah, it was funny. The Brian Griffin at the Diddy party, baby, she was shared. Someone look at me like that. It's a joke. So now you can understand what humans say? When I tell you what to do, you don't understand what we say. Go on somewhere. Move. Man, I hope he loses. I kind of hope he loses more than Kamala. Like, I've resigned myself for them corrupting it for Kamala, but Canada can't last like this. Like, if he fucking wins, Canada's done. Zeus speaks jive. He can fire his boss, parliament members, and RMCMP heads, replace them. There's no Canadian check of power. Wow. This is even, I didn't know all this, but even more reason, like, that guy cannot win. That country will die a death if he's not replaced. They're in worse, even compared to the UK. I don't think there's any country, and yeah, it probably is easier to rig than America too. There is no, pray for OG is right, man. Prayers for the Canadian folks. There is no country in the West that absolutely needs their leader replaced as much as Trudeau. I guess technically we will have our leader replaced, technically, because Biden is the president. I know everyone forgot that. But, I mean, if it's Kamala, the same people will be in charge, obviously. But, boy, Canada is done for. Canada's, like, on death's door. They absolutely need Pierre to win. I wish I could vote for the Canadian election more than this one. And it probably won't matter because you're right. Canada, the way it's built up with all that land, most of it's rural. And there's a few major cities where most of the people live, and cities tend to be liberal. And Retro Richard, I agree about Biden rather not, because somehow after his last health scare, he came out 6'8". Somehow this dude is taller than Kevin Durant, and he was, I don't know how. I never heard of somebody in their 80s growing to be a foot taller. Never. He wants to stay in power. Parliament says no, he can replace all the no's with hands selected. Yes, man. Absolutely wild. They literally have a dictatorship. 90% of Canada lives south of the northern tip of Michigan. Shit's a huge part of them live basically in Michigan. Shit, because I remember living there. They would cross the border all the time. And, visit Michigan, visit Detroit. Maybe if they really feel frisky, visit parts of Ohio, then go back. Sheesh. How's your backwater retarded country more politically sensible to Canada? How the fuck did that happen? Clown world. Yeah, that country's done, man. Trudeau, as bad as what Biden has done here, maybe because he had longer, Trudeau has done just Canada dirty. He's done that country dirty. Totally dirty. Like, anything would be better than him. Literally, Kamala Harris is an upgrade from Trudeau. That's how bad Trudeau is. She would be an upgrade. That's how Trudeau is a nightmare. I would feel frightened if that was the guy in charge. I mean, I'm still gonna be pretty worried for the corporation backing Kamala. But, what is it? You keep saying Blackwater and Blackstone. I forget which one's Blackstone. He has to be. I don't know the history of Canadian prime ministers, but there's no way there's one worse than him. There's no way. No way. He's bankrupted that country. He's laundered so much money. He's come up with so many hurtful policies. He's done so much damage. He's, messing with bank accounts for people who disagree with him. Just unreal stuff. Real legit dictator stuff. Yeah, that's what typically happens, Richard. You say your dad turned 80 and gets shorter. Yeah, that's what typically happens. You tend to shrink with age. Somehow Joe Biden, though, had a foot growth spurt overnight. Some states filed against election interference from the Labour Party of the UK. You mean U.S. states? I did not see that. That's crazy work. Let me, yeah, apparently that's a thing. Wow. Yeah, apparently some people think that the UK party meddled in the U.S. election. The Labor Party, I don't know enough. They might have. Yeah, how's Joe Biden taller than Kareem all of a sudden? I don't know. The medical care for the president is just different than what it is for everyone else. UK's Labour Party, Communist Democrat Party sent people over to swing states to help the Dems. Well, listen, I think it's safe to say there's no more fair and free elections, man. That the reason I'm picking, if I was a gambling man and I wasn't in such a fascist state in Texas where I was actually allowed to gamble, because you're not, which is like the rules in Texas are probably good for you. Like, the whole South has this ABC thing. You can't buy liquor outside of a bar after 9. Texas and a few other states, you can't get on the prawn site unless you use identify yourself. You can't gamble in Texas. These are actually good for you, right? But it is the state. There's some nanny state stuff. Like, that's why they call you guys fascists, because it sucks. All that shit said, if indeed I was a gambling man, and you can indeed bet on this election, I would bet on Kamala, because I just feel like 81 million people didn't vote for the guy last time. Whatever you think about the orange man, I feel like he has a little bit, if not more support, at least less antagonization. I don't think he can actually solve anything, which is why I don't care enough to vote personally. But I don't think he'll win. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he does, but I just don't see it happen. If I could bet and would bet, if I was that guy to say, you know what, I'll take a prop bet on the election for, what the fuck, why not? Bro, you'll be surprised. There's some thirst balls, Tom Jensen, who would be happy as a clam to get a BJ from Kamala. There are, going back to the simp hood of man, there are simps on this internet who are down to go to Cavern Pound Town and Pound Town on that cavern that Kamala calls a vagina. Believe it or not. Because there's some motherfuckers down bad. From 1980 to 2000, it was assumed our votes didn't matter. From 01 to 24, from 01 to 2024 has proven our votes don't matter, right? Forbidden Ruin. A couple weeks ago, they passed a law, some shit that gives military permission to attack American citizens on American soil. Oof. And isn't it interesting that we now have AI functioning robots for all the people? Oh, the military wouldn't turn on the citizens. All right, let's assume you're correct. Drone strikes have been a thing for, 16 years, nearly 20 years. And now the technology is more advanced for it. They made movies. This is the plot of The Winter Soldier, of people who are enemies of the state being drone strike out of existence. And now it's legal. And all the technology exists for it to be possible. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. And I'm sure if your orange man gets in the office, he'll do something about that, right? He'll save us from it. He'll save it from us from it. Did we see it on IG? I don't remember seeing it. Or maybe I did. I feel like this talk has been going on for a little bit. But it's official now. It's official now. They didn't send them retards to keep their Twitter fingers steady. And some UK dude found the tweet, I see. And Washington State, someone, I heard about that. I think we talked about that. Was it during the zombie mainstream or was it during match stream? But how would they know, setting fire to ballot boxes, burning ballots, how would you know what's in the ballot box? Unless they organize the ballot box by assumed, I guess, Trump votes. There's only two options. They either siphon off a bunch of Trump votes, put them in a ballot box and set it on fire, which could have happened, or there's so many votes that they just saw a box with a bunch of them and just, which so that could be a positive if you think of it from that perspective. Meaning there's a lot of people out there voting and they can't burn them all, and thus even a state like Washington, maybe he doesn't do too bad in. We'll see. We'll see. Watch Code 8 and Code 8 Part 2. What is there on Netflix? I see. LOL at the military won't turn on the system. Yeah, I always thought that concept was silly anyway. That's why I think Back to Blue is silly. Of course the military and police are going to turn on you. That's what happens in every fascist regime. How many Bud Lights do you think it's going to sell? Whatever. That's not Bud Lights. They never replaced Bud Light. But you know what I mean? What do you think? I see those little thin blue line stickers. It's like, you think these people are going to back you when this shit hits the fan? You're going to back the blue. They're not going to back you. They had drone strikes in the 80s. Sheesh. I know about the aughts. I didn't know about the 80s. During Desert Storm, so that'd been the later 80s, early 90s, or the group of Iraqis that surrendered to a drone from a battleship Wisconsin. They didn't want the battleship smoke. Wow. 2 weeks ago, reports of ballots and mail ditches. Wow. He said, wow. Since you're dealing with some real stuff. So I witnessed the military turn on the citizens with my own eyes. The blue had the authorization to kill, so does the National Guard, not the whole military. Absolutely. So I don't know why people trust the government on either side. I don't know. I don't know what evidence they're using to brainwash themselves to back a single element of the government, because the government's not going to back you. I don't get it. I'll never understand. Well, they can come and try to take them. Motherfucker, you have no clue what you're up against. You have no fucking earthly idea what you're up against, my guy. You think this shit is a game. You think a human being is going to knock on your door and you're going to have some Waco / Tony Montana style last stand, and eagles are going to fly over the sky and fireworks are going to explode and America and fucking sparklers is going to show up, and you and your group of drunk assholes in your little neighborhood are going to save the people from the military. And it's like, homie, they're going to use drones and they're going to wipe you the fuck out. And they're going to wipe out if they want to. Now, honestly, I don't think it's going to come to that. I think motherfuckers will kneel before Zod at the first sign of trouble. Motherfuckers are just talking shit. That's why I don't believe in the Civil War. Ain't gonna be no fucking Civil War. You ain't built like that. You motherfuckers not built like that. Stop. 2021 National Guard purity test didn't get them the results they needed for the U.S. coup. Now they have what's left of the military too. Coup 2024. I don't think we'll get anything. We might get another incident. We might get another 6th incident. Maybe a few of them. You might have some anger. But I don't think nothing real is going to happen. Hey, but I'm wrong about a lot of shit. We'll see. We'll see. And, because here's the thing. Here's the gimmick. Let's say your Orange Man does win. I don't know if you noticed this. They were taking shots at that guy. What if they hit him? And he's not the pinnacle of health. He's not as spry as he was even 4 or 5 years ago. So that that might inspire a coup before anything else. I think they were more. I don't necessarily think that's enough either. But that's much more than just him losing. If they hit him, that's more, and I'm not trying to give anyone ideas. I'm not trying to give the evil empire ideas. But that's more likely to cause a coup than him losing. Because him losing last time, they had to do the shit on the 6th and say that his supporters did. The feds had to do all the bullshit. Supporters were just there to barbecue and wear MAGA hats. They didn't give a shit. They weren't really about that life. And a few of them, once they were let in and given directions, a few of them may have smashed a computer or two or jumped on somebody's desk. You know what I mean? Or pissed on Pelosi's seat, took a shit on her seat or some shit like that. Yeah, a few of them did that once they got in. But as far as real damage, that was all feds. And even them getting in was feds. So come on, man. They're not really about to take over. It was made to look like Trump supporters will take over the government because their guy didn't win. That's what that was. But that's not reality. Congress will coup the winner of 2024 if it's not Kamala and use the military to do it. Ooh, maybe. I didn't even consider that. Ooh, you might be right. I would say that's more likely than a civil war if he loses. But the Congress actually using the coup and using the military to do it, that's a lot more likely. That's infinitely more likely. Forbidden rule, as usual with the game. You lost your weapons in a boating accident. You were sure you go out standing, not kneeling. Nothing more, nothing less. Fair enough. The laws they just changed allows them to do it legally. Yeah, they would. Census predicted he would die in office. A lot of people thought he would get hit in 2020 because of that as well, because of the census prediction and not just the census, the Illuminati card game also depicts a guy that looks a lot like Trump that supposedly gets killed in assassinating. Hey, Real Wade, yeah, we're talking conspiracy theory and politics. I want to talk some more conspiracy theory. Hopefully I can get a stream this week. And we'll do an election stream next week. That's not about the election, though. We'll probably talk about it. But, I'll do a gaming stream next week. So, yeah, we're going places. This is the end of me playing Streets of Rage. I was playing Streets of Rage first hour and a half or so. And now we're on conspiracy theory stuff and politics stuff and all that. Listen, if I go by conspiracy theory, a lot of people think, and I'm one of them, that Trump is nothing but a Freemason puppet. Anyway. Again, I am of this ilk as well. How did the stream go earlier? It went pretty good. Then we had a stream with Zombie Man earlier as well. That was fun. But Forbidden Ruin is scaring the hell out of us. Well, not really, but I mean, just breaking it down what's going on about the laws, the new laws that allow military to attack the citizens. And there was a lot of people, the military won't attack the citizens. Bullshit. So it's just the reality of it. And this is why I'm not, I don't care to vote, because I recognize that the powers that be are going to do what they're going to do. They got an agenda and they're going to enact it, man. There's just no way around it. I feared they would change it. I knew it existed and depended on it. Now it's void. Lil V is more popular than you. Oh, I don't know about that. You got more subs. That's what matters. I cannot get over. I would be monetized if I can get over 1,000. I'd be monetized right now, and I do think I will. It's going to take some time. I got a couple videos coming out this week. I do got to stay. If I stay consistent with the videos, if I can do at least 2 to 3 videos and 2 to 3 streams a week, that's what I'm trying to do. And then sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm not going to do that much of either, and just when I need to rest, when I got other stuff going on, when I want to focus more on the music, I'll just do that. And that's just what it is. And hopefully that grows enough to get to 1,000 subs and get me monetized. 7 branches. I didn't even think about that. We all laughed at the Space Force. Looking at what, and again, this is another reason I'm not a big Elon guy. Look at the tech he creates. Look what it's capable of. Now he's able to land rockets. Is getting more interviews. Well, I mean, Zombie Man's been here for a while. Zombie Man. What do you do? I think I don't have anything for next Monday. I don't think. I know you sometimes you ask to collab. Maybe next Monday would be a decent time. Either channel, it's up to you. National Guard is a glorified branch of the military. They send non-crayon ear and window lickers. I see. Me. But yeah, if you're free next Monday, that would be, if you care to. I know a lot of times you'll ask to collab, and I'm like, oh man, I can't, because a lot of times you'll ask. I don't get off work till like 7 Central, for the most part, and then usually I'm either gonna go walk or go to the gym or do something, not gymnasium like a human, but the actual gym to work out. It's what your dry cleaner does on the weekends, National Guard stuff. I know my barber was a member of the National Guard. I know movies always make the National Guard out to be something. Oh, we gotta call it a National Guard. It's like, well, they're just regular dudes. Not saying the military, they're just regular dudes, but it's different. Sorry about that. Yeah. LARPing on the weekends, a little bit. Thank you, Tom. So polite. Here I go sneezing. Appreciate your politeness. I'm allergic to my own bullshit. It happens. It happens. I could picture someone like Danny DeVito in the National Guard, and all he's ever done his whole life is operate hardware store. Yeah, Lions beat the hell out of Tennessee. Dog walk Tennessee. Next week we got the Packers, and then next week after that, I'll be going to the game against Houston. You just did 20 things of content. I see. That's what you meant by the 20 things. I don't. Sometimes you can I think. I don't know. There's a sweet spot with how much content you need to release before you overdo it, and how little you should release before you underdo it. Lions, man, that's a blowout. Kamila heals up, knows what kind of pounding it's like. They needed to put up yards on him, though. Drop 52 points, no yards. Well, yeah, because a lot of it, there was picks and a lot of special teams play. We didn't have to get that many yards. We didn't even need that many yards to do anything. Texans were supposed to jump to the number one defense this week. Honestly, the Titans don't have a bad team. I mean, they do have a bad team, but I can see there's something there. There's something there. I mean, I know you were saying after this blowout victory, but like they did okay the first quarter or so. It's just this is one of those games. Like they suck, but it wouldn't surprise me if next year they're a lot better. Steelers are doing good, unfortunately. Yeah, the QB is not terrible. They went away from, what was the guy they had? The rookie? I forgot the rookie, but the guy they started yesterday, he's not terrible. And that defense isn't terrible. Yeah, we're running through top. It's like a Saudi Prince runs through IG models, right? IG models. We're getting crazy. Yeah, Will Levis. Yep, Will Levis. He's not that good. Mason Rudolph looked a lot better early in the game, but once it was a blowout, it was pretty much over. I didn't know the Titans were the number one defense, but that's not shocking. They actually still did hold our defense to not a lot of yards. It was just special teams and the way our defense kept getting turnovers. That was really the big thing, was our defense's turnovers and special teams. It just made it an easy job for the offense. You know, our offense was in the red zone the whole fucking game. We didn't have that many yards to even do anything. We were in the red zone the whole game, and then once we made it a 50 ball, it was like, well, time to run this shit out. Yeah, they're looking a little thin at wide receiver. I don't think it might not be a shootout. Our offense is cooking. Now, we got next week against Green Bay, and but our defense still has an issue, man. Not having Aiden, and we haven't traded to fill that spot yet. I don't know if we will. I'm not gonna cry if they don't. Yeah, I'd rather they get if they can get a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby, like it's been talked about, that would be awesome. But we, historically this hasn't been true. But we've been drafting well. I don't really want to give up a ton of draft picks. Not when our recent draft picks have been Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, and these are the people we are using these draft picks on. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I'm trading the future versions of those type players for a guy who, no matter who they talk about, who's the other guy? I think Khalil Mack. All these guys are a little long in the tooth and are going to be expensive. So we might stay pat and not trade for a big defensive end to make up for Aiden. So we'll see what happens. We only got like a week left before the trade deadline. Your problem it's hard to come up with a topic when the chat is dead. Honestly, that's hard for everybody. The chat just happens to be active. Thank the Most High the chat's active. I am blessed that so many people watch these wild-ass streams. Came for the gameplay? I'm sorry, man. I did. I had stopped playing like 20 minutes ago because I was about to end the stream, and then the conversation picked up, so I just kept going. NFL is absolutely rigged. There's no doubt about that in my mind. That's why every 5 minutes you get a gambling advertisement. On top of being rigged, though, I think we are dealing with low effort from the athletes. I think a lot of people in the NFL, Titans are 1-6. I know they're 1-6. So for me to compliment them after we just blew about 52 points and they're 1-6 may seem backhand. I can see where their defense is one of the better defenses. I can see where there is talent. They'll be better next year if they keep guys together and can improve. I appreciate that. You sound cool in your book. Being a YouTuber is frustrating, though. It's being frustrating. Why is oh my God. I am so sick of these political commercials. They're terrible. They have a male cheerleader. Shout out to Charlotte. You know, I used to live in Charlotte. Shout out to the Carolina Panthers. I think they give a free Krispy Kreme dozen? There's a lot of, when the Panthers win, a lot of places there offer like promotional stuff. And yeah. No one's going to get too many of those promo donuts or Bojangles. Shout out to Bojangles. A lot of promo stuff in the Carolina area. I miss the food in Carolina. I miss Bojangles. I miss Publix. Though Zaxby's does exist in Texas, and I don't have one close to me. So I miss Zaxby's to this extent too. I don't know what the Vegas odds of election. That'd be something to check out. I didn't see the commercial. I'm sure it is ridiculous. Though, like I said, it's not totally truthless. They ain't going to take away your prime. They're just going to make you do age verification. But I'm not doing age verification just to look at prime. Fuck prime. Prime is the devil anyway. It's the devil. So, whoa. So what happened? They have a top male cheerleader. He claims to be female. Oh, so they went down the road of terrible seasons. I see. Oh, man. So they got a female cheerleader that's really male. Listen, Charlotte was one of those places where bathroom, and then Charlotte would have unisex bathrooms as a protest because it was kind of a liberalish city. A lot of tech people, a lot of liberal people in the city of Charlotte. So what was I looking up? Oh, the odds. Vegas odds on the election. Vegas president. I know the one guy who always predicts the election says that Kamala is going to win by his criteria. But to check. Okay, looks like Trump. The odds are for Trump. Let me get this on screen. Trump extends presidential betting lead over Harris as polls tighten in lead up to the election. This is as of 5:30 a.m. and it was updated around noon today. So the bettors increased former President Trump's lead over Vice President in the betting odds. So I would definitely take those odds if she's the underdog too. She's the betting underdog. Oh yeah, if I could bet, your boy might toss a little bread on this. I'm no cap. If you're gonna make her the underdog, oh yeah, you gotta use an offshore betting thing anyway. Oh man, so I didn't know that. Or is this a different thing? Let me see. But yeah, I would. This is how the odds have gone by different dates. In July, Trump, and then as of August 11th, Kamala, and then late August, early September, Trump, into mid to late September, Kamala, and then in October, Trump has taken over as far as the betting odds. That's how the betting odds have worked over the past few months, according to USA Today. So that's where we are. That's where we are. I mean, like I said, I feel like the fix is in. If I were a betting man, especially knowing that she's the underdog, so I get better odds. If I were a degenerate, you know what I mean? You know, if you're a degenerate gambler, but you happen to lean, right? There you go. You get don't put too much. If you got $50, toss it on Kamala. And now at least you get something. in case you lose. In case the orange man loses, right? It's not a total loss. Yeah, the country's going to fall into shit, but at least you got another, I don't know how much you would get off a $50 bet, maybe $60, $70. Man, shit, Matt did a stream, and I'm so sick of her voice acting. She got a Latina voice, a black voice, a church voice. Oh, my God. I'll tell you one thing, man. I can't deal with 4 years of her clips. Biden was bad enough. I can't deal with this shit. I will be boycotting any Kamala clip I see. I can't not listen to her voice. Back in the day, if you gave him $1, you could touch the cow. Nowadays, you can only look at that picture of the milk prawn. Yeah, you're not joking. They hired a trans cheerleader. Wow. And parade him around like a trophy. Wow. Yeah, it's much stunning and many brave. I don't know how to beat Bone Smash and Dawn of War 2. I never played Dawn of War. Kamala winning would be hilarious, fucked up, but funny. Yeah, we barely saw Biden. But even when we did, and he would, every time he made a gaffe, it was memes of it. I didn't want to see that. It was depressed. She went from Blackanese to Hispanic in 4 words, talking some script and slack. I hate her. We will see a lot more of her than Biden, though, because they kept having to hide him away because he's, hide him away and then replace him with a guy. To the point where they lost track of his height. Shit. But yeah, man. I don't know, guys. But I do know one thing. It is getting late. It is after 1 a.m. The stream was supposed to be short. It was supposed to be an hour and a half, which it kind of was. And then we spent another 30 minutes rambling. You see, the meltdown, if knee pads loses, would be funny. It'd be racist as fuck if a Chinese woman started talking to her. I don't know if it would be as much of a meltdown as when Hillary lost. I think both sides are a little better prepped on a loss than the past 2 elections before it. Because I think this is, all things considered, this is more of a coin flip election. It feels like a coin flip election. Hey, I'm a guy in a random hat download grinder. Vote Kamala. Okay, guys, that was funny. I appreciate you guys. I gotta stream more often. What's wrong with me? This orange ruler survived 2 assassinations. This retarded bitch wins. If I had betting money, if I could bet, which maybe there's a way for me to do it, I might fuck around, toss a little money on this bitch. But in any event, if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. Because we do have lurkers. I appreciate the lurking, but, you can sub. And even if you do none of these things, you don't sub, you just watch, that's cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to all you guys later. Peace.